You're watching Two Button Crew.
The daily show for Nintendo fans.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Simeon. But you already knew that. And you probably already knew that too.
There's an important distinction. We are the daily show for Nintendo fans, but note that we did not say fanboys.
No.
We can address the flip side of the coin.
Yes. And today we are sadly going to have to face the flip side of the flip side, which are the haters. And the haters do have some valid points when it comes to Nintendo's because Nintendo's there are multiple
stuff.
Yes. Now, Nintendo has made a few mistakes. The haters are right. They've made quite a few mistakes.
When you've been around for over 100 years, you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, you're allowed to do that. But there are some mistakes that hurt worse than others. So These are things that Nintendo has made or done that we wish had not happened and did not exist.
Let's do it. Let's count down the top 10.
The top 10. And realize that these are the things that do exist that we wish didn't exist. Not the things that they should have done, but things that they shouldn't have done.
The top 10 things that we wish did not exist.
Yes.
That do exist. Number 10. Ice Climber.
Ice Climber.
Ice Climber is a bad game with poor controls.
Yes.
And really nothing too interesting about it.
No.
The characters are kind of bland. They're like twins that are supposedly husband and wife or brother and sister.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know.
I think they're brother and sister, but that's questionable.
So it's very poor. And it keeps getting put on, you can get it on 3DS. Or you got it for free on the 3DS for being an ambassador, and you can buy it on Wii U and stuff. And it's just very hard. Like, I didn't even enjoy the Ice Climbers portions in NES Remix, where they supposedly chose the best parts or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so hard to jump. You made a platform game that's bad.
Yes.
And so I think Smash 4 did the right thing by cutting them out of the roster.
Well, see...
Cut them out.
The Ice Climbers, it doesn't take the cue from Mario. Like, the original Mario Brothers didn't have very good jumping controls. Ice Climbers had worse jumping controls than that.
I don't agree with you with Mario being bad, but...
I meant Mario Bros, not Super Mario Bros.
Okay.
Super Mario Brothers had a little bit better controls,
You're
and
right.
I still don't like them that much, but it was way better than Ice Climbers.
I see what you're saying, yeah. Yep.
Okay, so number 9 are the pointless Wii channels. Now, when I'm saying Wii channels, I'm not talking about, like, the Mi Plaza or whatever, because... Mi Plaza, okay, that was pretty good. But the weather channel, the Everybody Votes channel even. I remember that being like hype when it like, oh, it's going to be awesome.
Yes.
It's a piece of junk. There were so many pieces of junk. Even like the special ones. Right. I remember the Metroid Prime 3. Do you remember this?
Yeah, they made a whole channel.
Yeah, they made a whole channel that you could download just to preview the game. You couldn't play any of it, of course. You just got to go around a menu and say, oh.
Yeah. And watch some videos, like alternatively than going to YouTube.
Yeah.
Which is, it's really the question of the alternatives. Was Nintendo honestly trying to be people's go-to source for news and for weather and stuff?
News channel?
No
really?
way. Like, smartphones were very young, but starting to come out, and there's no universe in which you would go to your Wii and turn it on to try out to see what the weather is like. Now, Iwata did have a vision for the Wii where flipping channels would be as quick as on a TV. So that might have been different, but for the amount of effort and time it took to get into a channel rather than just playing a game, not worth it.
I will have to say, though, that one weird Me channel where people uploaded their Miis to, and
Check
you got
Me
to
Out.
go, yes, Check Me Out channel. That was pretty fun.
That was a good use of Miis.
But
definitely.
So many of them.
And it could have been incorporated into the Mii channel itself anyway.
Pieces of poo.
So We Speak is number 8.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's a bad idea. I mean, it was kind of Nintendo's band-aid to the lack of voice chat in gaming, but they did it in a bad way. They put the microphone on top of the sensor bar by the TV for you to speak at.
How are you doing?
The microphone should be by the gamer, not by the TV speakers.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's going to pick up their voice. It's just going to echo back to them.
Let's move on.
Piece of junk. Okay. So number 7 is the Nintendo Pokemon cards. Now, you may be wondering, like, Pokemon cards. Those are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were awesome until Nintendo took over. Wizards of the Coast did a fine job. They published them from like 98 or 99 to 2003, and they did a fantastic job. They're known for their trading card games.
Mm-hmm.
They do a really good job with it. And then Nintendo booted them, and Wizards of the Coast sued, and there was a big debacle there. But then when Nintendo started making cards, I think that we can all agree that it went downhill from there. Basically made all the old cards useless. Yeah, irrelevant. It had to change the rules and all that stuff.
Because basic Pokemon have 80 HP now or something.
And do 20 damage for 0 energy. Literally.
And that's a business model.
Yes.
Get everybody to keep buying the new cards. So, number 6, 3DS augmented reality. There was somebody who tattooed an AR card on their wrist. We talked about this week. 3DS augmented reality was a big waste, I believe, in resources, because it could have been a main focus on the 3DS, and I would have enjoyed that. But as it was,
I think so too.
The console, the handheld, shipped with a few kind of mini games or tech demos in a way,
basically,
and then was never used again. So everybody knows by now that the 3DS's main struggle out the gate was its high price point. It costed $250 to get a 3DS. And I think that a lot of wasted resources went into these type of experiments that really hiked the price up. So
yes.
I wish that it never existed.
It could have been a huge success, but once again, Nintendo did not support it, and it failed.
Yep.
Number 5 is the N64 controller. Now, I know some people like the N64 controller, but I do not know why, because that thing is... Not only is it shaped weird and made for somebody with 3 arms, but it is a piece of junk. That control stick, I don't care how many people say that the control stick is fine or okay. No, it's a piece of junk. It breaks. Every single one that I've done, it's loose.
I just played the N64 last night, actually.
Is it a piece of junk?
And yeah, see how injured my thumb is?
Yeah.
I played Mario Party.
Oh yeah, and that's going to injure the palm of your hand too. And
right.
Piece of junk. Why? I know Nintendo's all for innovating and stuff like that and making new things and trying to make things cool and stuff.
Yeah. The whole idea was, give people the option of using the D-pad or the control stick. But they did that much better in the GameCube. Not perfect, because the D-pad was small, but they were a lot closer.
Way better. No, and nobody wanted to use the D-pad anyway.
Yeah. So, number 4, we're getting down to it, retail exclusive deals for Amiibo. The Amiibo business is really rough, because production has never met demands yet, and they're making it even harder for people to get what they want by making them go to all these different retailers. Yes. So, sure, maybe it helps you with your relationships with the retailers, but at this point, if you have an exclusive with each one, you're no better off than if you just didn't have any exclusives at all.
I agree. It's exclusive, retail exclusive, I think, is something that plagues gamers.
Yeah.
Especially now, like, people are like, I want this costume for this character, but I can only get it if I bought pre-order on this store, or if I... You know, download it from Steam or whatever. It's exclusive. Why? Okay, number 3 is Nintendo's partnership with Philips. This eventually led to the creation of the PlayStation because Nintendo didn't partner with Sony, and that's a huge debacle. But the CDI, Nintendo should be Nintendo with Nintendo, and not let anybody else have their stuff. You know, Nintendo...
They should leave luck to heaven.
Yes, leave luck to heaven.
Not put your fate in the hands of Philips.
Yeah. So...
Not that the whole fate really was.
No, not at all. Nintendo's, well off enough where they don't have to worry about that. But Philips CDI... No.
We're almost there. It's number 2, random tripping in Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
Why?
We are proponents of Smash Bros. Brawl. That was the right word, right?
Yes.
It's not components.
No. We're not components. That would be a little creepy. We evolved from the game and are now speaking sentient beings. No.
It was actually a fairly decent fighting game, and it had some party elements, such as tripping. Random tripping in a fighting game has never been done before, for good reason. Someone had a horrible idea. I mean, maybe if there was some math to it, like maybe if you just were running so often and never... I don't know.
I don't know. See, to me, the only advantage to this is that sometimes you'd be able to get out of some infinites because you would trip.
Or they would trip.
Yeah. And it wouldn't work. So...
Yeah. In the competitive scene, if you closed out someone's stock, you just dash danced to try to get your trip out of the way while they're coming back down in the portal. That was an excessive step in the competitive scene.
That's bad.
Nobody enjoyed tripping. It had no benefit.
Yeah. Why would you do that, Zach?
Creatively, that is.
Okay, number 1 is Nintendo movie.
Honorable mention, the little clip on the back of the classic controller for the Wii. There was a button.
Yes.
And it never ever got used. I thought it was some huge secret, and I was like 12 when the Wii came out, so I was so excited to see what it would finally get used for, what innovative thing, and it just teased me for
they led us on
6 years until I finally just let it go. But
and of course, the Virtual Boy. The Virtual Boy had some use to it,
yeah.
And we've talked about the Virtual Boy before, but we're not going to bash on it here. Number 1 is Nintendo movies and TV shows.
That's fair.
And, of course I had to pick this one. And if you've been watching for any number of episodes, you know that I don't get excited for video game movies or TV shows because they're just going to mess it up. Taking something that has an interactive element to it and taking out the interaction, I don't get why...
Yeah.
People are so into taking something away from a video game. So we have the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, and along with that, the Legend of Zelda cartoon, the Excuse Me Princess. At least we have that.
Yeah.
At least we have that. But then we have...
It had to be so bad that it could be slightly good in its badness.
Exactly. That's how bad it was. It was so bad it was good. Mm-hmm. And we also have The Wizard, which, it was okay, but, the video game element was nowhere near the best part of it. It was terrible. And, of course, the Super Mario Brothers movie, which had nothing to do with the video game. It made Nintendo stop making movies.
Yeah.
And it ended the director's career.
Yes.
It not only was a huge financial flop, not only did it turn Nintendo away from making movies, but it ended a director's career. That is how bad the movie was.
And honestly, it could have really hurt Mario, too.
Yeah.
As a franchise. Luckily, he bounced back.
Thankfully. Yeah. He wahooed back onto the scene. But Nintendo, I don't know. If you're going to do movies and TV shows... Find a way to make it work, please.
Yeah, and test it by some Nintendo fans. Simeon and I will watch it in its early stages before you put it out to fans and completely humiliate yourself. We'll let you know if it's something you'd be interested in.
Yes.
So hit us up.
Yes, hit us up, Nintendo. Talk to us.
Yeah. So our 100th episode is coming up.
Yes, it is.
We will see you guys next week for the 100th episode. Please do us this favor by getting other people on the hype train.
Yes.
Choo-chooing toward episode 100 over the weekend. Yeah. And we'll see you guys then.
Don't forget to like, to comment, to subscribe, and if you did like what you saw, as Scott said, please do share it with a friend.
We'll see you next time.
Signing off.